What's up, guys? We got one here from P's World. Woman realizes she's not the prize and can't cope. Let's get into it.
Sometimes I go out with girls who have boyfriends, and it's like, if you love your boyfriend so much, just stay at home.
Yeah,
because you're ruining the vibe.
You're ruining it.
You're ruining the vibe for us single girls. Like, of course, like when us single girls are going out, we might meet some guys, or we might be on the table with a guy.
You're mingling, man.
We're mingling, and then you're moving bare hostile. You can't even talk to no one because sorry, I've got a man. It's like, okay, just go home then.
Arms by the side like this. Can't talk to no one.
You can't talk to no one. Don't want to talk to anyone from the opposite sex, even if it's just in a friendly way. They won't do that. They'll be like, nah, sorry, I can't come on the table because my boyfriend. It's like, just go home. You just go home. Right?
I agree.
You're ruining the night for the girlies.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got the brigade of single women ready to hit the scene, but heaven forbid if some poor girl brings her loyal boyfriend along. What a party pooper. How dare she have respect for her relationship while the other girls are trying to play Tinder in real life. If you're so mad that your girl's man is ruining the vibe, maybe the problem isn't him. Maybe it's the fact that you think a night out is the Hunger Games of dating. Men aren't lining up to be in your rotation. For the women who are actually out there looking for guys to mingle with, they're also rolling their eyes at committed relationships. This is entitlement level 9,000.
He said nothing wrong. Like, it devalues the woman when you go through multiple men and have multiple baby daddies. We don't want to deal with that. If you got 3 kids and 3 baby daddies, it's like, damn, your decision-making skills are horrible.
Y'all forget that y'all the ones who saying right there. And then y'all forget that I'm 41 years old. I got a 25-year-old child. So you're basing your perception of me from 25 years ago.
Come on.
I'm not that person I'm not that kid that I was 25 years ago.
Speak on.
And I'm not that young adult that I was 25 years ago. I've grown from that. I've healed from that. I now make
So she got pregnant at 16. If you want to do the quick math.
better choices, better decisions, and I live more of a healthy love life, you know, than I did then. So you're gonna tell me, oh, well, you got this many kids, I can't date you.
No,
but that happened 25 years ago.
Not the number of
at what
kids.
point are you going to give grace? Like, at how long are you going to, I don't want to use the word punish, for lack of better words, a woman for her past. Like Brian came out and said, I don't judge a woman from their past. We all make mistakes. And then he basically just flat out judged.
That's the gentleman's preference. We're not judging you for how many kids.
Yeah.
It's how many baby fathers you got. If you get with a guy and I'm 40 years old per se, and I have 8 kids by 6 different women, that says something.
And then everybody's situation is different.
Like
4
we
kids
all have
and
different
4 baby
circles.
daddies.
But that's not what
kids
it
and 3
was.
baby daddies?
My children I have by 2 different men. And I was in a 12-year relationship that was abusive. I escaped that by God's grace. I give thanks every day. And so when I moved on to the next relationship, I'm just looking for something better than what I had. And just because it was better doesn't mean it was for me. So when I realized this isn't for me, should I marry this man just because society is going to look at me like I'm a failure as a mother or as a woman? Or no, should I keep going and look for what is really for me? I'm not going to say that I've made all the best decisions as a young adult. I never said I made the best decisions.
And that's what we're referring to, the decision-making skills.
Yeah, that's now. Yeah, that's in the past. So you're not going to meet a woman and she tell you she stole a candy bar at 14 years old. Oh, no, I can't do that. I don't do thieves.
She's always a thief.
Yeah, she was a kid. She made a mistake. She ate that, and the candy bar is gone. So in my situation, I feel like I ate that. I ate that relationship that I went through. I ate being a young teenage parent. I ate it. Like the young kids say, you ate. I feel like I ate. I've grown from that. I'm not that person that I was.
The relationship
is
awesome, but the kid, you're bearing the man's children.
All right.
It's the I'm a different person now line. Cool, but you still got 3 baby daddies and a collection of kids that make the Brady Bunch look like an only child. You can claim growth, maturity, and healing until the cows come home, but here's the harsh reality. Every guy sees the circus that you're bringing with you. Multiple baby daddies isn't just a red flag, it's a whole damn parade. And guess who's stuck with dealing with the fallout? The new guy who has to navigate your past like it's a minefield. Why should a man commit to that when he could find someone without a live-action soap opera? facts don't care about your feelings, decision-making skills don't expire after 25, and just like women look to a man's future, men are going to look at your past.
Are you going to be mad if I make a generalization?
Nope.
Men are more violent than women.
If we're looking at homosexual relationships, for example, they've actually found that gay men have the lowest incidence rate of domestic violence. And then next up, in terms of couplings, you have heterosexual relationships. And then the highest incidence rate of domestic violence is actually in lesbian relationships.
I would almost argue that like it's unreported among gay males. But don't you guys like stand on the point that men are stronger than women?
Yeah.
Don't you want to protect like women against the strong men?
It doesn't make you more violent just because you're stronger.
I would think that.
For instance, there's going to be women who are stronger than other women, right?
Sure.
Would you then infer that that would mean that women who are stronger than other women would just be more violent because they're stronger?
No, I think that testosterone makes men more violent.
Okay, but there's going to be higher rates of testosterone in stronger women than less strong women.
So
this
then, yeah,
inference,
if they would have more testosterone, then they would be more violent. Yeah.
So your inference is that testosterone equals violence?
Yeah.
So can estrogen.
I love it. Just owned her. You know, testosterone equals violence. I mean, now that's a hot take. But let's ignore that most men don't go around throwing punches just because they're stronger or have more testosterone. I mean, if that were true, then the gyms would be the WWE arena. I mean, could you imagine walking into the gym, you see somebody like people elbowing somebody off the damn treadmill, body slamming somebody off the leg press machine. Oh my God, that would be so damn funny. Let's give a shout out to the fact that lesbian relationships are the top of the charts for domestic violent rates, but yet nobody wants to talk about that. You know, hey, who needs the facts when you got a feminist talking points, right? You know, apparently logic took the night off and men are violent because they're stronger. And that's like saying when women are more manipulative because they have estrogen. Wait, I don't think I was supposed to say that out loud.
For Biden. Can I bite your sign? I want to eat your sign.
I'm gonna.
Because it's
I don't
fucked,
consent.
like you.
I don't consent.
Wonder how
What's
easy
your
that would be to
stance?
drink.
Actually eating my sign. Actually, ate my sign.
Fuck you and Trump.
I don't think she liked my sign very much.
Psycho bitch.
I mean, she did. Like, actually, not. Yo, what are you doing? Yes. I see that you know your judo well.
Can I eat it?
Nah, you can't eat it. You don't have consent.
No consent. Fuck Trump. Fuck
Look at that, eh?
Ironic that a white man is wearing a woman for Trump and a feminist for Trump when I consider myself a feminist and.
Did you just assume my gender? You said white man.
Okay, I see your point there.
How do you know I'm not a woman?
I see your point. I see your point.
You need to check your white privilege, your white female privilege, I think.
You think?
A little bit. I actually identify as a non-binary, gender-fluid dragonkin.
You know, and here we got a feminist throwing a tantrum and trying to eat a feminist for Trump sign. And the irony is someone's personal agency and boundaries just got smashed by the same crowd screaming about consent. You know, I don't consent. Well, neither did the sign, but she was ready to go full Pac-Man on that thing. Waka, waka, waka. You know, but don't worry about pointing out her crazy. And if I'm right, that is Brian from the Whatever podcast. I'm pretty certain it is, but if you know for certain, let me know in the comments down below. Now, but the fact that he plays the I'm a gender fluid Dragon King card because when the facts fail with her. I'm sorry, this is just fucking funny. Just thinking that, you know, but he plays that gender fluid Dragon King card because the facts fails with her and he just shapeshifts into this mythical creature and claims oppression. You know, reality is dead. Long live chaos. Oh my God.
Asking Russian women, are you a feminist?
Я не феминистка. Но вот эти истории... Вот, мужчины козлы, я не буду брить подмышки. Нет.
Нет. Нет. Не совсем. Я больше за равноправие. Ну, то есть для меня вот именно феминизм, он отвечает чисто за права женщин, не учитывая как-то права мужчин.
Нет. Вообще ни в коем разе.
This is a good clip because this just isn't Russia. I mean, there is some form of feminism starting to slip in. Probably say more Westernism right now than feminism slipping into a lot of these countries that are still tradition. But this is pretty big for Slavic countries, so not just Russia, Ukraine, Poland, up through there. In the bigger cities, maybe not. There's a slight Western hint to it, but there are a lot of non-feminist countries out there. I guess is the way I'm trying to say it. I hopefully get what I'm saying. But going up to a Russian woman and asking if they're feminists is like asking a fish if it wants to fly. I mean, Russia and feminism? No. Ukraine and feminism? No. Poland and feminism? Maybe, but mostly no. These aren't women that are trying to play games. They know what traditional family means, and guess what? They're not out there trying to rewrite the rule books, because we've seen where that gets you. Unlike the Western woman who thinks empowerment means outdoing men in bad behavior, Russian women, Slavic women, traditional women in other countries, seeming to understand the value of traditional roles without needing a parade or pink hats.
Are you a feminist?
No, I've never been one.
What is a feminist?
Feminist is someone that fights for women's rights, equality, and they are basically for women.
And you are not that?
I am not that. And that's because I don't see it surface level. So if you ask a girl on TikTok what's a feminist, she'll tell you what I told you. But me, I know that it's deeper than that. So that's why I'm like, don't identify with it. And also because of the way they go about the whole, this is how we're for women, the way that you're going about it, it's already a zero for me. So the title is not enough. Just because you said you're for women and you're fighting for the equality rights of women is not enough for me to take it on. What makes me take it on is how you go about that, trying to bring equality, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
What is the deeper understanding of you and feminism and why you don't support it?
Okay, so in the beginning, I was always very sketchy about feminism because I was like, okay, I hear what they're saying. Like, okay, voting, what, men didn't allow us, what.
Damn, what? Hey, this is an agent, must. Yes.
And I was like, okay, I see where you guys are coming from. But yeah, there was still not enough for me to be like, I'm taking on that, because I saw in the way that they went about it. So when I did research on feminism, because I was like, okay, I'm very unsettled with this feminism thing. Let me get deep into it. Let me not just be satisfied with we are equals for women, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So when I deep dived into it, I got to ask questions about like, okay, so the history says that women were not allowed to vote. Why was that? Like I said, if you go to Google and you're like, why were women not allowed to vote? It's going to say they said they were stupid. And they're very emotional, so no. But if you go deeper and you go into the books, you will actually learn that, for example, the reason why women were not allowed to vote is because men were the heads of the house. So they voted on behalf of their households.
Almost like voting on behalf of your kids. It's the same reason kids can't vote.
You see? So women had very much influence in what their husbands voted for. So it was just like, out of all the families, one man.
To represent, almost like our politicians now.
Yes.
Like, why don't you sit in parliament? Is it because we're stupid? No, it's because we have representatives.
Yes, we've got one person representing us and what we're believing in, etc. The other reason was that women were more into, like, they were voting more municipal and local thing, yes, because they were in charge of the schools, the hospitals, the shops and whatnot, because women were more nurturers and whatnot. Those are the...
I mean, this is a big breath of fresh air, coming from a woman who doesn't buy into the feminist propaganda. I mean, she cuts through the nonsense, the feminist talking points on equality. I mean, it's a nice theory, but her deep dive into it shows that women had influence back then too. Voting wasn't about oppression. It was about representation and roles. And we shouldn't pretend that every movement has been as pure as snow, because feminism today is so far off the rails that women like her can see right through the facade, and she doesn't need to be told that the fight for rights that she already has. She has a historical deep dive into why women couldn't vote back in the day, and it turns out it wasn't because men thought women were dumb. It's because men were handling the battlefield and women were running the home front. And now we're here pretending the vote was the golden key to equality, and if you really want equality, why aren't feminists out there drafting themselves into war? Right. It's because the only equality they want is when it's convenient. But hey, if a guy dares to question this, you're a misogynist, obviously. There's more to this video here. I would highly recommend popping over to Peas World. The link's in the description down below and watching it. It's really good with her dive into her view of what the feminist culture is like. But anyways, what we've learned is entitlement is at an all-time high. The definition of growth apparently includes multiple baby daddies, and feminism has become a parody of itself. Women empowerment is about choices, but let's be real. The choices being made often come with consequences that no one wants to face. If you're a guy, you're asked to wade through a battlefield of emotional landmines and still come out alive. And the fun fact is 80% of divorces are initiated by women, and guess who's on the hook for alimony and child support in most cases? Yeah, you guessed it, it's men. But don't worry, feminists will tell you it's about equality, right? So guys, don't be simps, protect your resources, your sanity, and your future. Marriage today, it's a raw deal unless you've got an ironclad safeguard. Women want freedom to do as they please, and that's fine. Nobody's going to stop them or judge them, but they need to stop acting like men should be lining up to play cleanup duty. Focus on your purpose, work on your self-improvement. Remember, society is the rigged game against you. Choose wisely, but better yet, don't play at all, because the current dating market is not about winning. It's about losing everything you've worked for. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the video here. If you like what you've seen today, hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Drop me a comment down below what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.